You're listening to the Daily Nugget. It's dnugget.com for July 8th, 2025. It is Tijuana Tuesday. We're going to go down under for this. There's only two words, so I'm allowed to do it. Haven't used my freedom of three-word accents for a while. These are two Aussie twins, and they're finding out if these Aussie in-sync twins can speak without the other talking.
I think this was one of mine.
Yeah, it was. I watched this. This was weird.
It was very weird.
Now, this is the one, I think I saw the original video of this where they were on a news program or something, and they were interviewing them, and it was like they couldn't, like their brains were pretty much connected, right? They just kept saying the same thing, like at the same time. Let's see what happens.
Clearly,
Yes.
the speaking in unison is a thing that you do. How?
Yes, that's right.
How does this happen?
Oh, man.
It just happens and we don't know why, but we have tried to talk separately and we're not ourselves. It's not us. And it's very hard. And and we don't care about the critics. We tell people if you can't stand listening to us, simply just switch off the TV.
Do not switch off the TV.
Guys, do not say that, okay? Please, no.
I want to be clear on that. But sorry, how does it feel? Paula, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you only to answer it, Paula.
Okay, well, I'll try and answer it as best as I can.
Okay, I can see Bridget.
We have tried to talk.
Oh, so that's it. Okay.
It's like in stereo.
It is. Even the times when
the sync stereo.
We have tried to talk separately, but we're not ourselves.
They're not married.
Really,
Yes.
the speaking in unison is a thing that you do. How?
Yes, that's right.
How does this happen?
It just happens and we don't know why.
See, but it was crazy because she's the one lady on the right. She just kind of said the last word, but it almost felt like she was trying to guess what the word was going to be. And then, did you notice that? It was like, when you're trying to pretend to sync up with somebody and, finish each other's sandwiches.
Right.
But we have tried to talk separately, but we're not ourselves. It's not us.
See, like that one there. See, then
goes
she was
back
talking.
and forth though, like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that?
When you spend too much time with your best friend, and you're basically the same person.
Is that why my wife doesn't always want to spend time with me?
Maybe.
So this could potentially be just because however old these ladies are, I don't know, they look 40, 50s-ish, 50s maybe. They've been together for 50 years.
Right. They dress the same. Fix their hair the same.
Are they both nurses? Because those look like...
They do, it does look like scrubs.
But there's so many different kinds of scrubs.
Yeah. Now, dressing the same is a choice.
Yeah. That's true.
They may not be able to help the fact that they finish each other's sentences, but the fact that they see, now this is what I wish this guy would have asked. Do you alternate who decides what you're both going to wear? Or is it just one of them that says, all right, I'm choosing this week, or the one that has more fashion sense?
One?
Okay, Andy and Sam, you start talking like that.
No.
That
was pretty good.
Why not?
I can't even try to pretend to do it. I just tried to see. It was like I heard him say no, and I tried to say no, but it didn't sound like that.
Right.
So there's some weird connection.
Like symbiosis or something.
I wonder if they were like conjoined twins and got separated at birth and don't remember.
Well, I feel like you wouldn't remember if you were separated at birth, no matter what.
Well, true, but they could have been told,
And it's very hard. And and we don't care about the critics. We tell people if you can't stand listening to us, simply just switch off the TV.
Do not.
Oh man, this is a tough one.
And I didn't realize Tony Weir was on this news channel either.
Switch on.
Listen, a young Tony Weir there.
Please no.
I want to be clear on that. But sorry, how does it feel? Paula, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you only to answer it, Paula. What if?
Okay, well, I'll try and answer it as best as I can.
Okay, I can see Bridget trying to speak.
I think it didn't feel right.
So, how do you know? What is going on that means that when one of you speaks, the other one just
Bond.
instinctively has the same thing to say? What's going on?
Oh, guess what? I wish I could answer that question. It just happens. We have tried.
Yeah, the
Wait,
other
how
one
do
is
they talk to each other?
Yeah. How do they have conversations?
Like talking to yourself in a mirror? Just wild.
Bridget and Paula
I don't know.
are their names.
It makes me think of Kindergarten Cop. Did you guys ever watch that movie?
Long time ago.
There's a pair of twins on there. They say probably an inappropriate phrase that I shouldn't repeat on our family-friendliest show.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
You can look it up. Twins. Kindergarten Cop. That's the Nugget. NuggetHateMail@gmail.com. I think there is something to be said about a deeper connection that twins would have,
Okay,
if you will.
that's true.
I mean, they are identical.
Mhm.
So it's just, I wonder if there's just a weird little mental connection. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like they're on the same wavelength or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other parallels that I've heard of twins. Like what else can twins do? Twin power.
Are they like, is it Gemini twins? And if they get too far apart, they both start getting sick?
I remember hearing that.
Gemini twins. I haven't heard that.
It's in some book I read as a kid. It has to be real.
Okay. Fun facts about twins. Okay. Twin telepathy. That's on Reddit. Twins of Reddit. What's the craziest experience of twin telepathy you and your twin have had? So I guess that's the thing, because I've heard that before, that they kind of can read each other's minds. One person said, when I was little, my sister would sometimes sleep in my room just for fun. She had cerebral palsy and could not stand, sit up, speak, or even chew solid foods. She was always on her back or in a wheelchair and was tube fed through her belly button. She could only make noises or blink to have any communication. I remember one night the lights were out and she was on a mattress on the floor beside me. It was a hazard having her on a high bed in case she fell. We were lying there and I was talking away for probably over an hour before we fell asleep. She would respond by making noises. We had full-on hour-long conversations with each other in a way that we could banter back and forth. It seemed natural and made sense to me that I could pick up what type of response she had by her noises.
Cool.
Yeah, so nonverbal thing. So another person says, sometimes my twin and I will forget who did what. I'll have a specific memory of something, even from a few years ago, and she'll go, no, I did that. And sometimes it's confusing and annoying because I'll have such a vivid memory of doing it, but she did too, the exact same way.
That's freaky.
That is a little freaky.
Because then who's the real twin? Who's the real one?
I know a couple
like
of
there's
them.
movies about that.
Right. Like there's one clone, there's one original, and there's one clone.
The secondary one's the clone, right?
Actually, that was an old
Out
game
second?
show, right? Will the real whoever please step forward? Right?
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
My twin sister and I both took Spanish in 8th grade from the same teacher, but we were in different class periods. At the start of every new lesson, we'd watch a video introducing what we were about to learn. Our teacher would always ask us if we had any questions after the video finished. And several times, I was the only one with a question when I would ask it. My teacher would turn white and say, your sister was the only one with a question last period, and it was the exact same question.
Yikes.
It happened 5 times over the course of the year.
Man. That's some X-Files stuff.
During woodshop, my twin thought, I wish I had that sandpaper. I thought he had said this aloud and handed the sandpaper to him without saying anything. No one around us heard him say he wanted sandpaper. and it's still one of our greatest moments. I mean,
Wow.
is this just because you're so alike in your thought patterns because you're an exact same, like you're the same person?
But then there's all those like movies and people I know that are like, we're individuals and they want to be so different because they are different people.
Yep.
But apparently,
I don't know. All the same thought processes. That would be why the Spanish thing, right? Different classes, but they have the same questions because they have the same, the brain processes the same way.
Yeah, it's weird.
Woo!
Interesting.
Twin telepathy. Mind blown. Which would explain, again, these Aussie twins, they have the same speech patterns and the same speech conventions and how they put together words and how they say phrases because they have the same brain.
And they have for decades now.
Yeah.
It's wild.
They are exact twins, exact copies of each other, including down to the brain and the thought processes. That's got to be it. That's crazy.
That's it.
Now,
solved another one of life's greatest mysteries.
Well, Janelle, all we need to do is test it out in rats first, and you can do that.
I know. Thank you.
Are there twin rats?
We'll get twin rats. Oh, there's got to be twin rats.
Never thought about it.
Oh, let's see here. Are there
They've
twin
been
rats?
cloning rats for a while, so it's the same.
Can rats be twins?
I don't like it. I don't like where this is going.
Can rats be twins?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're going to dress the same and show up to Janelle's house.
I'm out. I will not be.
Bring on the rats.
Yes, rats can have twins.
As if we wanted to
Thanks,
know.
Google.
Yeah.
And if that's not enough, Janelle, rats are known to have multiple offspring in a single litter. Twins, triplets, and even more.
Yeah, you have one, you've got 100. That's a given. Everybody knows that.
Right, but are they identical? I should say that. That's like twin. Yeah.
Don't you remember John 8 plus
Do
8?
they talk at the same time?
Oh, that'd be real loud.
Yes, rats can be identical twins.
Wild.
So there you go, Janelle.
No.
Now
Let the experiments begin.
No.
That's the Nugget. NuggetHateMail@gmail.com. See, this is where the benefit of being on the end of the internet comes in, because we discover things on the end of the internet. There's no other place we can go. We're stuck.
Right. So nothing else, that you needed to know, but we'll find it.
We certainly are.
You could share
Twin
it.
telepathy. It's a thing.